beating around the bush. At least I hear you have a fighting chance. Yes or no, this is your last chance. No beating around the bush. At least I hear you have a fighting chance. Yes or no, this is your last chance. No beating around the bush. At least I hear you have a fighting chance. At least I hear you have a fighting chance. Yes or no, this is your last chance. No beating around the bush. At least I hear you have a fighting chance. Yes or no, this is your last chance. No beating around the bush. At least I hear you have a fighting chance. Yes or no, this is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Killer job as always, Phantom Freak. Would love to hear your guys' feedback on Phantom Freak's track, so go ahead and put what you liked and what you think can be improved about this track in the chat. Love the bass lines that you used. Love the vocals that you had in there, like the movie clips. I thought those were worked in nicely. Definitely made the track interesting from start to finish with those. What else? Drums were rocking. I thought those worked really well. They were mixed in nicely, very impactful. I could really hear, really feel like it opened up the track, the drums, and definitely gave it that groove and rhythm that it needed with the arrangement as well as the mix of them. Thank you so much for the follow again. It came in the UK. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the stream here. Where do you mean? Oh, Who Blows There? Thank you so much for coming on in. What section needed a faster percussion when it came in, like around here? Is that what you're talking about? And as far as I can see, before that, like when it first comes in, when the drop first comes in. Okay, you know, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. You definitely hear that in some house-ish productions too, as well. I wouldn't say, at least to me, it didn't sound empty, but you know, it is the last drop, and the last drops, like I said, they definitely do have like shakers and percussions starting out in the track when that last drop comes in. You know, to really give more energy and more rhythm to the track. So I definitely could experiment with that. Definitely a good suggestion there. What else here? What do I have? What do I have for feedback here? Okay. I think the rhythm of the basses could have been changed up a bit in the track, as far as just maybe having some notes longer, just to add more variation. Doesn't have to necessarily be a crazy change or anything. I just think the basses got a little repetitive at times, and the rhythm got a bit repetitive. And I think it could have just been changed up by lengthening some notes, maybe even shortening some notes a little bit, just a little more different of a rhythm. I think would work really well. Not that the existing rhythm was bad, just I think it needed more variation with the amount of repetition of the rhythm that it had. Also, I've noticed that a lot of tracks, and I know this kind of is the style of the garage-ish type tunes, but I think that you could have had some sort of like melody in your breakdown. You always have some sort of pad with some sort of vocal and some sort of like riser effects in your breakdowns, which is very standard, which is nothing wrong with that. I think you can experiment more with melodics in these breakdowns. I think, the breakdowns really give you a chance to explore different musical ideas, mess with more harmonies and melodies more so than in the drop. And I think you should take advantage of that. So I think experimenting with that a little bit, it could be something very simple. It doesn't have to be a complex melody that's dominating the mix. It can be something in the background, just providing, a little more interest and a little more harmonic interest. It could work really well. Okay, gotcha. The longer notes made it sound muddy. I went with more staccato notes because basses, especially that neuro bass, takes up a ton of room in the mix. Gotcha there. So that was a kind of a mixing conflict there as well. Okay. Gotcha. I wasn't coming up with anything moist enough. But yeah, definitely mess with it some more. I think that could, I think you could work that into your productions a bit more. To have more of your own unique style on these garage tunes. Again, it doesn't have to be something complex and dominating in the mix, because that is not necessarily a style. It could work. Definitely experimenting. Just to take your tracks, to that next level. But again, there's nothing wrong with you have right now. It definitely serves its purpose and would work well on the dance floor. Last thing I want to mention is the clap. I think you could have had a little bit higher of a timbre on the clap, more high frequencies in the clap, as you can kind of feel it, but I just wanted to hear it a bit more and have it come through in the mix a bit more. So maybe layering that with a higher end clap to give it a little more sizzle could really help the drums complete the rhythm, I would say. So hopefully that feedback helped there, Phantom Freak, and thank you as always for sharing your tracks. Always gotta love the sizzle. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Yeah, no problem, man. Next up. And don't forget, guys, the Sony Vox Orchestral Companion Strings is today's free giveaway when we hit 40 concurrent viewers. So invite people on into this stream. We are 31 people away. We've just started the stream. We can make it happen, guys. All right. Next is Michael. No, he did not send me a drag. Jathan Gold, are you in the stream? Yes, you are. No Scope and Ninjax. Let's do it.
Finding a mess like this ought to make anyone frightened. We about to.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I was elevated in that tune. I'm sure you guys were too. Let's hear your elevated feedback on Elevated, guys. Go ahead and put it in the chat. What you liked, what you think be improved about this song. Loved the heavy basses that you had in the track. Loved all those pauses that you had in the drops. That really added to the suspense and made the basses seem like they hit a lot harder. And also the vocals that you had in there worked really well to really create that mood in the track. What else? What else? So I'll get into the parts that I think could be improved. Right. Okay, so like I said, I liked how you had, the broken up bass lines, have it be slower pace, have those, those pauses in between the basses. I think it was too much though. I think you needed to go into a section where you had more of a faster paced rhythm and really gave the listener something more to dance to, I would say. So, again, when I was listening to it, when it first hit, I was like, oh, damn, yeah, this is nice, those pauses. But then it went on for a bit too long, and it felt a bit stagnant. After 8 bars, mix up the drum pattern, mix up the basses, so it's, more quicker paced. You don't have as many pauses. Give something more of a quicker rhythm, something to dance to. I think that would really help with the arrangement of the track. Yeah, definitely a drum change. Yeah, great idea. That definitely, again, the pauses, definitely, want to have them in there. I just think it needs some changes as well in there with the drums, with the basses, to give that rhythm and danceability to it. That's true. You can mess with 4 on the floor. You can, mess with so many different types of rhythms in this. What else here? I think also the mixing of the basses and the white noises could have been changed a bit. I think the white noise dominated a little bit too much. I wanted to hear more of the timbre of the bass line. I think maybe just reducing the volume of the white noise could have worked. Maybe raising the volume of the bass a tiny bit. Maybe EQing the bass a little bit more. Maybe give it a little more high end so it has more of that sizzle. Yeah, I just think the white noise is a little too dominating. Definitely, I like to have the white noise in there because it definitely helps fill out the song. White noise covers the 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz range, so it really fills out your track, and it's definitely something, a tool that you want to use to fill out your song. But I think, again, a little bit too much there. I wanted to hear more timbre from the bass line. What else here? Clemsed, thank you so much for the follow. Do appreciate it. Thanks for stopping on by today on this awesome Friday. Yes, possibly a section of double time or something. That could work really well here for our official. BPM change as well. That could work. Definitely all something to experiment with that would work for this particular genre. You just gotta find what works for this particular track. Lastly, oh, also, could you send in a reference track? I forgot to ask Phantom Freak for one, but can you send in a reference track? Go ahead and just put that in the chat if you can. There, No Scope Ninjak, something similar to the style or genre that this track is. That way I can quickly have a listen to it and give other feedback as well. Definitely Clem's. Definitely send it on over to Daniel at SoundShockAudio.com for a chance to get it on this live stream. Yeah, the last thing, I think more modulation in the second drop of your basses. The basses were a bit stagnant. They were essentially just sustained notes. I know you had some pitch bending in there. Definitely more modulation in the basses to give more interest. Some kind of weird filtering. I don't know if you're what synthesizer you're using. Just get more movement in there. Use LFOs and envelopes on different parameters in your synthesizer to give that interest. As they were just a bit stagnant. Again, I felt like just the pitch bending wasn't enough. Other than that, yeah, killer job. I just think some small adjustments here can really take this track to the next level. Definitely the idea is there. The mixing is pretty solid. Definitely just getting it to the next level here. So thank you so much for sending on in your track. Do appreciate it. And we'll listen to the reference track real quick. Give her a listen.
That shit on the headlight. That shit on it. That shit on it.
Nice. Loving it. I can definitely see what you're going for now here. So I'm definitely gonna take this time to go full screen and talk about just overall mix and the sounds in your mix. So yeah, this will bring me up to a good point here. What I've noticed from, not necessarily in your track here, but what I've noticed from more amateur productions is they'll try and make certain sounds in the mix larger than life, or try and make all sounds in their mix larger than life. That's really what I hear often. Producers trying to make all their sounds in their mix larger than life because they hear, their professional songs, they hear their favorite artists, and their tracks just sound huge. They're crystal clear and they sound huge, and they think that they need to have every single sound in their mix sound huge. This isn't the case. There's only so much headroom you have for your track. There's only so many sounds that you could have in a specific frequency range. It's the combination of all these different sounds mixed in well, sitting in their specific frequency ranges and coming together to create a larger than life mix. That really is the key to having a big sounding mix. Not every sound in your track is going to take up 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. You need to have the specific sounds in your mix occupy specific frequency ranges and EQ them appropriately and remove frequencies that are taking away from sounds that occupy other frequency ranges. I know that sounds kind of obvious, but still producers, I hear it a lot. Again, they try to make every single sound loud, larger than life. They do a lot of EQ boosting on their sounds. They try and layer them up as much as possible. They can cover all these frequency ranges. Decide what elements need to cover what specific frequency ranges. So, for example, with this, the big bass line they have in this trap track that we just went over. Let's have a listen to it again. Well, it definitely is a lot larger than life. The mix sounds larger than life. It is still that brrrr sound. It's definitely EQ'd. It's definitely EQ'd, and it's not covering, a full frequency range. You can hear the other drum. You can hear the drums, other sounds perfectly. You can hear the drums well. You can hear the other that like metallic sound perfectly as well. If you listen to a professional song and you solo out the specific elements in the song, you'll notice that each individual element doesn't exactly sound larger than life. It might actually sound kind of thin to you if you solo specific elements in a professional sounding mix. Because again, there's only so much headroom and there's only so many sounds you can have in a specific frequency range. So really think about the different, listen to professional track, listen to what frequency ranges specific elements are most prominent in, and really use your EQs to reflect that in your mix. That's what I'm trying to say. It's definitely easier said than done, but that's something to think about when you're mixing in your sounds. All right, rant over. Again, this wasn't specifically your track that I was talking about, no scope, Ninjax, but definitely something like that. After hearing this trap track, I definitely wanted to mention. All right, here we go. Moving on up the ladder. Jathan Gold. Okay, Luke, you were up. Dark side. Let's take a trip on over to the dark side. And okay, you have not managed to find a reference track. No worries, we can just go over your track. All right, Luke. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for sending on in your tune. Get rowdy. Any feedback for Luke, go ahead and put that in the chat. Type away what you liked, what you think could be improved. And don't forget, we have the free giveaway once we hit 40 concurrent viewers in this live stream of the orchestral companion strings. $70 value, yours for free. Get your friends in here, let them know the awesome feedback that they can receive on their music and the free plugin that they can win. I have another full screen opportunity for us. I'll go into it in a minute. Let me get through some of the other feedback first here. Okay, need a sub layer. Definitely agree. Subs are life in dubstep tracks. Gotta have them, gotta be present, provide that foundation, weight, and just earth shaking power that a dubstep track needs. Add that in there. You won't regret it. What else? What else? Yes, okay, so who mentioned this? Cayman UK, yes, said it was like 3 different drops. Definitely agree. Definitely think you need to work the arrangement a bit. Think of simplifying it a bit. Think of simplifying the drops a bit. Just keep the patterns more simple. Keep them more similar to each other. You definitely want variation. Not to say that you want to have the same patterns over and over of the the patterns, the arrangement of your bass lines and lasers and all that. You definitely want to have them different, but keep them similar at the same time. That is. I'll go in a little more in depth in that with my full screen rant in a second here. Drums need to improve in this. Need to be brought up in the mix. The drums felt like an afterthought in this track. A dubstep track needs to have really slamming drums. A snare, I would pick a different snare sample. It's almost like it's not a snare, it's more like a tick. Definitely needs something a little bit harder hitting than that to really drive home that groove, rhythm, and power that a dubstep track needs to have. So just adjusting the drums, bringing them up in the mix, saturating them, compressing them, raising the volume of them, changing out the snare drum, and adding a sub will make a drastic difference to your track already. Just doing those two simple things. That works. A clean sine, sub bass underneath works really well. Nothing fancy. You don't have to do that at all. Okay, so we'll go full screen here again. And this is to talk about arrangement. Arrangement. Arrangements of your tracks from section to section. This can be applied to any track. I would say it's probably a little more obvious in dubstep tracks, like the track that we just went over. But you need to have different sections of your track to create interest, to create familiarity, and to create progression. I like to use a formula for this. I like to use the AB, AC, AB, AD formula. Each letter represents 1 bar, so 4 beats. The A section is going to have a sound playing. The B section is going to be different. The A section, of course, repeats. And the C section, a different section. Again, A, B, A, and then D, a different section. So this can be anything. This is open to a really big interpretation of how you construct your A sections, your B sections, your C, and your D sections. It can be anything that you want, anything that makes sense for the style or genre that you're working in. So for a dubstep track, for example, you could have your A section be a bass line, and then your B section be a laser, pew, 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 pew. And then back to the bass line, and then a C section that has like a drum fill. All different sections. The A section keeps that familiarity and interest, and the other sections help progress the track and keep it interesting as well. So that's how I think you should think about your track as far as arrangement and how you can, again, create continuity while keeping it different and progressing the track. Again, AB, AC, AB, AD. The letters represent a bar and just the content that is in, the sounds that are in, and the sounds that are in them, and how they are arranged out. So that, again, the A sections will all be the same. The A sections will all be the same. Okay. All right. I think we covered that. Any questions about that? Feel free to put them in the chat. Yes, you are watching a TED Talk Cayman UK. This is the SoundShockAudio live track feedback TED Talk. I need my little clicker. They always have the PowerPoint presentations, which is just, I don't know. PowerPoint presentations are annoying. Everyone always has that clicker on TED Talk. Oh yeah, the universe and, my life and everything. And they just talk about everything in TED Talks. Okay. Sweet. I don't think I've ever given that piece of feedback before. Or it's been a while. I've been doing the live stream for like 2 years now, so I might have. But I haven't given it in a while if I have given it. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just pulling shit out of my ass and hopefully it sounds good and it helps you guys. That's how I run this live stream. No, I usually always get feedback on stuff that I actually have used in my productions and have had success with. All right, moving on here. Thanks again, Luke. Do appreciate it. Hope that feedback helped. And thank you so much for joining the live stream. I know I'm sorry for messing with the times a bit. And again, the live stream is all going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. GMT time every Friday now. It used to be 12 p.m. Now we're switching it to 1. Seems to be a better time for me, at least at this juncture. So 1 p.m. should be the time. Okay, moving on. We have someone. So I'm going through my emails. I have emails from people that are not in the live stream and that are from something else. Okay, here we go. Bradley, you are up. You have made it with a new alias on Twitch. Let's do it.
Without you, I don't know what to do. Without you, I never know what's true. Without you, I'll never know what to do. Without you, I'm lost without you. So take my hand and we'll be off to Neverland. 'Cause it's never a nefarious plan.
Yes, I am Fox. Near Far Official. Why did you change? What? Yeah, why do you have a new alias on Twitch now? Just curious. Is it a burner Twitch account? I feel like it is. It's a burner Twitch account. Okay, so any feedback for Near Far Official, go ahead and put that in the chat what you'd like to think could be improved. And also invite every single one of your friends into the stream right now for a chance to win the orchestral companion strings. Once again, 40 concurrent viewers in the stream, we will be doing the free giveaway. Oh, it got hacked. Damn. It doesn't exist. That sucks. Sorry about that. Damn. Damn. That really does suck. Issue with distributor. Sorry to hear that. All right. Well, I mean, you got a new name now. New beginning. New beginning for you, I Am Fox. The new beginnings. Okay, so, I love the vibe that you had going, the little synth poppy vibe. Always love those type of tracks. Works so well in the summertime. Yes, there is a queue. I believe there's about 3, 4 or so people in the queue. About like 5 in the queue right now. Near Far doesn't roll off the tongue, but it's a pretty cool name though. So Ear Candy. So I know, okay, you didn't mix the track. Obviously, it's a work in progress. So I won't give too much mixing feedback. I definitely think drums need an overhaul. Definitely more impactful drums. Think more live drums. I think that would work really well with this. Yeah, that's all I'll say for that, because again, you haven't mixed it. Melodies and harmonies in the drop. I think those could have been added, especially the harmonies. The melodies, you have a vocal chop kind of being the main melody of your track. So maybe other melodies wouldn't work well with it. I would definitely experiment with it. I think they could. But I know you already have a main melody. But the harmonies definitely have like a pad in the background playing some notes, have like strings, just something to add more harmonic interest to the track and just overall interest to the song. I think was missing. Or ear candy sounds, that can go in with like the drums, live drums, little drum fills. In the drop, you could have had more synths, different types of synths playing, small little chops in and out. You had a lot of pauses in the rhythm. The rhythm allows for a lot of different sounds to go into the mix. It's not a really condensed beat. So again, that allows you to get more creative with the arrangement of your sounds and the bringing in of out of sounds, and it won't sound too cluttered. So I think, yeah, again, adding those ear candy, like just quick chop sounds in there could really work for this. Yes, there's not an ARP in there. Definitely an ARP would work incredibly well with this. I had one more thing to say, and I forgot. I just forgot. I just forgot, guys. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, no, I remember. The vocal chops. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of the vocal chops you used. The timbre and the melody of them I did not like. That, again, that's just my personal preference. You can love it, roll with it. I just think it completely reworked. Again, that is just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Seriously, it is that legal California weed. It just hits you at random times. Like you'll smoke like just hours ago, and all of a sudden you'll just black out. That's what happens. That is what happens. That is the California legal weed now. Oh, it'll clean the mind, all right. It's the same here in Washington. Nice. Okay. There you go, Florida. It's legal too. Holla, holla, holla. Holla, holla, holla. Thank you again, Near Far Official. I Am Fox / Bradley. for sending on in your tune. K-Min, you are now finally up. You are now finally up. Let's do it. See what you got. All right, K-Min. That was sick. That was sick. Loving that kind of liquid-ish type bass, drum and bass track, hybrid, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the exact genre, but definitely nice and clean, as Who Blows There mentioned. A lot of nice ear candy sounds in there. Love the vocal. Love that kind of sax you had laying in the background. Love the little like bells almost you had there that played really low sporadically in there. All worked really well. There you go, Liquid Neuro. Yeah, the bass line, that neuro bass line works so well. Yeah, just overall great job on the track. So again, any feedback that you guys have for this track, go ahead and type away in the chat what you liked, what you think could be improved. Definitely. Okay, so you mentioned that you only had headphones. Yeah, when working with drum and bass, yeah, you kind of need monitors. The sub, the low end in any track is incredibly important, but especially important with drum and bass. Definitely could be brought up in the mix. It was definitely a little bit too low in the mix. The sub, as Who Blows There mentions also. Okay, nice. You have monitors, just not there at the moment. I would say, yeah, bring them up. It also sounded like the sub notes that we're playing were a bit high. When working with sub basses, there's only so many notes that can be played that really generate that power and that force. The F sharp like 0 or F sharp 1, I forget which one it is on your piano roll, is the most powerful subnotes. That's where the subfrequencies really ring out. Once you start detracting from that F sharp 0 or F sharp 1, when you start pulling away from that and playing other notes, then the power of the subnote starts to become weaker. As you go lower, you can't really hear it at all, and it feels like nothing. As you go higher, it really just feels like a pitched tone, a higher pitched up tone. It sounds like some of these subnotes are playing too high. I would try moving them down an octave and see how that sounds. Although I'm afraid that if you move them down, it'll be too low in the mix, or it will be not audible, and it'll be too low, and the sub frequencies won't ring out. That's my concern. Really, dubstep tracks in particular are written in a certain key, really because of the sub bass. The sub bass is such a big part of the mix, and certain keys don't lend themselves well to sub notes. Now, this isn't to say that you need to completely change around your track to hit the perfect sub note, to change your track to F sharp minor, but certain keys do have problems with really having the most impactful sub in the mix. So yeah, I would try moving them down an octave. If not, just bring them up in the mix. What you can maybe do is double layer them a little bit, add one pitch down, maybe cut out more of the sub frequencies of the higher pitched one. See if you can combine those and make it more powerful. Saturate the higher one. Just see if you can get a little more frequencies out of the higher one a bit. Yeah. Okay, if it was fine, then it is fine. Just something to keep in mind, I would say. Just to my ears, some of them seemed a bit too, didn't ring out enough low frequencies. What else? I think the kick can be improved. The power of the kick can be improved. It felt a little bit weak in the mix. You could definitely hear it, not necessarily say it was like disappearing. I just need a little more body to the kick. And I think once you get onto your monitors, you'll be able to better adjust the kick and sub. So I think, again, that might have just been a problem with the headphones. It's really hard to get the best mix in headphones. It just translates so much different, so much more different in headphones. On drum fills could have been bigger in the mix. They were kind of quiet in the mix, kind of like an ear candy type sound. Definitely want to be, more of a little more upfront. I know in this, kind of liquid neuro genre, they're not necessarily like a huge dubstep drum fill, a huge dubstep tom fill. Definitely, they were too far in the background, I think. All right, hey. Let's see. I do have. Oh, thank you so much for the follows there, the real prop. And I am Joe Prod. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this stream here. I do have another full screen. I know. We'll hold off on the full screen. We'll give it a little bit later. I Am Fox reminded me of something that I wanted to go over that I don't really go over that often either. And I definitely want to hit on that. Yeah, we'll go over it in a minute here. So thank you so much again, Cayman. Thanks for stopping on by. Hopefully the feedback helped you at least some way. That really is the goal of the live stream, is to have you walk away with at least one tip that you can use in your productions after watching this stream, or just have you think about your song in a different way that you hadn't thought about before watching this stream. Again, that really is the goal of this live stream. I think that if that happens, then I think I've done my job here on this live stream for you. Okay. All caps. Thanks, mate. I'll take the all caps there, Cayman. Okay, Jay, are you in the stream right now? Let me know and we can go over your track right now. Right now. That's right, Jay. Let me know if you're in the stream. Let me know. Give me a holla. Give me a holla. Give me a holla. No one's hollaing. I'm going to pull up the next track. No one's hollaing. Holla, holla, holla. After Jay, we have Clemsed. Clemsed, are you still in the stream here? Let me know. Okay, Jay is not in the stream, it looks like. So Clemsed, are we still in here? Give me a holla. Looking for some hollas. Getting no hollas. People just don't want to holla at me. People just don't want to holla at me. It hurts. It shows that you're in the stream right now, Clems.
Clemsed, please report to the live stream. If you would like your track to be played, please report to the live stream within the next 30 seconds. Thank you for this public service announcement.
Okay. Another one. MIDI crew. Are you in the stream? MIDI crew. Let me know. Dropping like flies over here. Okay, MIDI crew is, again, Clemsed. If you're in the stream, let me know. And we can go over your track next. We'll go over MIDI crews right now. Again, let me know, Clemsed. And we can go over your 1M2 track. Mini Mailer. Thank you so much for sending on in the tune. Groovy little tune as always. Always sending in those fire jams. Great, so any feedback, again, go ahead and put it in the chat what you liked, what you think we improved about the song. I'll hop right into the feedback here. Mini Mailer. Overall, I think, I don't know, you've had much better mixes, Mini Mailer. I'm going to tell you that. You've had much better mixes. This one did not feel like you spent a lot of time mixing it, in my opinion. It just felt a little disconnected, the elements. It wasn't necessarily the notes, the instruments. It was just the mixing that you had made it feel disconnected, and the track didn't feel like it was working well together. Part of that was the drums. You had a kick that was more up front than all the other drums. All the other drums seemed like they were in the background. The kick just seemed like it was just thrown over top of the entire track. And it just, I think the kick needs more power, but the drums in the background, all the other drums need to be brought up to the front of the mix to really create that drive rhythm. That's definitely one of the reasons why it felt a bit just not cohesive, the track. The vocals that came in, the male vocals, those seemed to not blend in well. I think lowering the volume of them a bit, some EQing, reverb, delay to have them blend in better would work. And yeah, I think just overall, just brightening up some elements in your mix with EQing. I usually always recommend the EQ cutting, and definitely there could be some EQ cuts in this to help clean up some mud, but you definitely need to have the elements shine through a bit more in your mix. So maybe not just EQing, maybe more volume, just gain staging of the different elements, I think is needed for this. That way, again, the track could sound more cohesive. And again, have the elements, specific elements in your track shine through a bit more. That would really help with the overall brightness and just overall clarity of the track and overall togetherness. Because again, when you have certain elements that are just kind of just ducking in the background, the vocals are way up front, the kicks way up front, all the other sounds are way in the back, and then it seems a little bit weird, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna take this time to do the full screen. So this isn't on your particular track here, Mini Mailer. This is just a general tip for everyone that I Am Fox mentioned and that I definitely wanted to touch on. I am sorry if you're getting tired of these full screens, but they are necessary. They are freaking necessary. Absolutely necessary. And I will explain why in a second. You need to save multiple instances of the same project. Every single project that you work on. Why? When you're working on a track, there are so many creative decisions every step of the way. Once you go down a specific route, the other route may close. You may not go back to that specific creative decision at that current juncture, and the track will turn into something completely new. Saving multiple instances of a project will allow you to really flesh out all your ideas for a particular track. Example, if you get your, if you're just starting a track, you get your bass line down, you get your drums down, you arrange it out a bit, you get your chord progression down, and then you start adding in, a melody or something like that. Save it, save another instance of it, work on a specific melody, work on some other crazy sound in another one, and compare the two. See which one you like best, which one works well. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to make a zillion copies at every specific creative decision, just in big junctures where you feel that the track can take on a new life, can take on something completely new that will change the dynamics of the track, change just the feeling of the track. Again, that way you can really explore all these creative options. Because once you pass that creative option and you don't save your project, one, you can forget about it. You just completely forget about that you had this idea at this time. Or two, it'll just be hard to go back and implement it in with all the stuff that you've added after that. So having all these creative checkpoints, that's what these kind of things are. All these different versions that you save. Having these different creative checkpoints that you can just work through and see which one works best for your track. Your first idea isn't always going to be the best idea for your particular track. It might take some developing. And again, having these different versions to really go through all your ideas and find the best fit for that particular track. Also, you can mix and mash the different projects that you have. Maybe a certain section that you worked on works really well for this particular version, and you want to implement it in the version that you think overall has a better idea. You do that as well. Again, this is possible with just saving different versions of the same project. Very simple, very effective. You should do it. Vote for me for president 2020. Daniel Strongen. Okay, that is my presidential speech. Hope you guys vote for me. Next up, we have. Who do we have? I don't know. Ramon, are we in the stream right now? Are we in the stream? Aqua, roses are red. Let me know. Give me a holla. Give me a holla balla. Wow, that was 3 full screens in one live stream. I don't think I've ever done 3 full screens. That was oh, there we go. Clemsed. We are in the stream. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, sweet. I don't know how to pronounce your name here. Beats. I'm gonna call you Beats. So before I even mispronounce your name there, I'm gonna call you Beats. Okay, we'll go over your track after Clems. We'll go over Beats track first here. Yeah, so let's get into it. All right, thank you so much, Beats, for sending on in your tune. I appreciate it. Any feedback for Beats, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you liked, what you think could be improved about the song. So overall, I love the vibe. That kind of melodic, like trap music always works so well, in my opinion. Things that I think could be improved about this track is definitely bring up the instruments in the drop. Overall, the drums were way up front, and everything else was behind the drums. Now, I felt a little bit, it made the track a bit weak in the mix. I mean, the drums are definitely important. You want them, to be up front. But all the other instruments were really in the background. It's really just the only thing in the foreground to me was the drums. So really bringing up everything else in the mix is very important for your mix. Just the track sounded weak because of that. I mean, it just sounded like a drum track with background music playing. So I just think doing that in general would really improve the track. Yes, drums are punchy. Definitely the trap drums were on point. More variation is needed in this track. It felt a bit repetitive. Harmonies, melodies, something like that would have really worked well for this. Your main event is the vocal chop that you have, which is great, which works fine. I think, just adding in more harmonies, melodies, a tiny lead in there, playing something very simple, strings, something like that, I think would work, again, really well. I think just doing that would really help improve the track. Maybe some ear candy type sounds, some more transition effects, some more modulation in the transitions, drum fills, that sort of thing, just to not tighten up the track, to just add more interest and to really define the sections a bit more. Again, just doing that, I think you've got a killer tune there. All right, Clems, you are now up. Thank you again, Beats. Nice, Clems. Nice. Loving the idea. Definitely want to hear more of it. Any feedback for Clems, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you like to think could be improved. And thank you again, Beats, for sending on in your track. Hopefully the feedback was helpful. And hopefully I see you in future live streams with an updated version of your track or a new track. Love the feature vibe. Worked really well. I just think mixing, it seems like, this is definitely a work in progress right now. You only have a minute of it done. So maybe you haven't had a chance to really go in on the mixing, but too much limiting and too much stereo spreading. The track loses a lot of depth. The idea is great, the arrangement of the idea is great, but again, the limiting and the stereo spreading is causing it to sound flat. Too much limiting reduces dynamic range. I know electronic tracks lend themselves to being more over-limited than other genres. I think over-limiting your track definitely sounds good in electronic music, but there's a certain point where it starts to destroy the dynamics too much, and it sounds too flat. And I think that I think this track hit this. Again, everything sounds up front. There's no depth. There's no foreground, background when you have something limited so much. Also, the stereo imaging, not everything, but a lot of the elements in the mix seem stereo spread, a two stereo spread, and when you have elements that are very wide, when you have a lot of elements that are very wide, it makes it so it loses its definition in the stereo imaging. so the sounds don't sound that wide. Reduce some of the width in these sounds you have, and I think that and reduce some of the limiting, and I think you'll find that it's a little more lively, the track, and a little more, it has more depth, has more three-dimensionality to the song. Also, the main synth that you had there, the wobbly synth, was a bit muddy. I think, yeah, the wobbly synth, it was just too muddy. 150 hertz to 500 hertz range. Do some EQ, notch EQing in there to really clear up that mud. Also, I think maybe you could go higher on the cutoff frequency that's modulating. Give a little more high frequencies in there. I think that could help as well. Just to add more interest, more sonic interest, more interest in the higher end. So really, as far as the stereo spreading goes, I really think it's only the main wobble sound now that I listen to it. I think the combination of that synth being too wide with the over limiting, it made it sound like other elements were too stereo spread, but it's just that main synth. I just think reducing a little bit would really help. I'm not sure what kind of stereo spreading you're doing on it, but it sounds unnatural in the mix. I'll say that. Thank you so much for the follow there. Like somebody. You are awesome. Hopefully you enjoy the stream. And yeah, I think that is my feedback for the track, and hopefully that helped. Hopefully you'll be able to make a positive impact on your track with that. Lazar, are you in the stream right now? Lazar, give me a holla. Arlington, Ripped Vans, let me know and we can go over your track right this second. Give me a holla, balla, holla balla. All right. Nice. All right, Arlington. Like somebody. Let's do it. you so much, Like It Somebody, with Rich Vans. Really nice little tune there. Any feedback for Like It Somebody, go on and put that in the chat. What you like to think can be improved about this song. I'll hop right into the feedback here. So definitely, what I think can be improved about the song is the energy levels in the different sections, and specifically the arrangement. It felt like there wasn't really that much of a change in the track at all as far as energy level. It was constant pretty much the entire time. Now, of course, this alternative rock style that you're going with isn't going to be like a dubstep track where you have a breakdown that's really low in energy and then you have a drop which is incredibly high in energy. So it's not to say that you're going to have those huge energy swings, but in order for the track to be compelling and show progression and really have that professional polish, you need to have more distinct sections that provide interest and really change energy levels in the tune. Having some sort of like main guitar melody, like lead sound going, at the final, big chorus, changing, the tone of your voice, of Descent's voice, at bigger sections, using some like filtering on certain sections to take away energy, adding instruments like the guitar to add more energy is definitely something that's needed for this track, because it felt too monotone throughout the entire thing. And again, this could be something that's very, on the more subtle side, given this genre, as far as taking away energy and giving more energy. Again, you don't have to add something that really takes the track to a whole new level energy-wise. It can be something that just gives a little lift in the mix to create enough interest, progression in the track. I think that's what this song needed. So hopefully that piece of feedback helps for this song. This gives you something to think about. Thank you very much for joining the live stream there, Like It Somebody. Hope to see you back in future live streams. This is actually going to do it for this week's live stream, everyone. I want to thank you all for stopping on by. I really do appreciate it. It was great listening to all your tunes. Really unique, diverse tunes, as always. That's how we like to keep it on the SoundShock Audio live stream. Again, I really do appreciate you spending your Friday with me here, and hopefully the feedback helped. Hopefully you again at least walk away from this stream with at least one tip that you can use in your productions, or hopefully you are at least thinking about your track in a different way that you hadn't thought about before watching this live stream. Any questions, comments, concerns about SoundShock Audio, about the live stream, or any music production questions in general, you can email me at daniel@soundshockaaudio.com or contact me on any of the SoundShock social media, and I'd be happy to talk with you guys. It's always great getting to know the SoundShock Audio community. If all of you new guys just popping on in, don't forget to check out SoundShockAudio.com. It is the number1 production site on the web with the largest free music production library on the web. The largest. May not look like it, but it definitely is the largest. DAW templates, music production apps, plugins, presets, contact instruments, samples, and loops, all organized nicely for you to find exactly what you're looking for and to help you in your productions for free. So check it out. I do not think you'll be disappointed. And thank you again, everyone, for joining. I really do appreciate you guys sticking around. Commander Roots, Psycho Motion, Host, Maraffle, Like It Somebody, Lurks Mini Crew, J, S1, Faka, VNK, Virgo Pros, and Who Blows There. You guys are awesome. And again, we're going to be hosting these live streams every Friday at 1 p.m. We'll be switching up to 1 p.m. this time. 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. GMT time. Hopefully this is a good time for you guys to stop on by. Again, I hope to see you guys in there in future live streams with an updated version of the track you just premiered on this live stream, or a new track. Always love listening to your guys' songs. So thank you so much again for making this possible, and I hope to again see you guys next week. My name is Daniel from SoundShock Audio, and I'm out.